In this slide, we are going to discuss our next topic of the unit 5th application layer, which is DNS. DNS stands for the domain name system. What is the function of the DNS? It maps the host names to the IP address. Let's understand how it works. To map a name onto an IP address, an application program calls a library procedure called resolver, passing it to the name as a parameter. That means whenever we want to resolve the name with the IP address, an application program is run, then it calls the resolver, which passes the name which we want to resolve as the parameter, right? The resolver sends a UDP packet to a local DNS server. Whatever the parameters were sent to the resolver, the resolver sent that parameter as a UDP packet to the local DNS server, which then looks up the name and return the IP address to the resolver. Then it will look into its directory and then it will return the address to the resolver, which then return it to the caller. Then it will finally return to the caller, right? So this was the working of the DNS. And armed with the IP address, the program can then establish a TCP connection with the destination or send it UDP packets. After resolving the name, after mapping the name with the IP address, the program can establish the TCP connection with the whatever destination it wants to connect and send its data, right? It is generally consists of three main parts: the DNS namespace, the resource records, and the name servers. Let's understand what these all are. First, let's understand the DNS namespace. We know that the internet is divided into several hundred top level domains, right? Then each domain may contain multiple level of hosts. Each domain is partitioned into subdomains, and these are further partitioned and so on. So, what is domain name space? It is consist of a top level domains, right? And then it is divided into its subdomain, which will contain multiple hosts, and then it will also further divided into many subdomains, and which will also further divided into the subdomains, right? All these domains can be represented by the tree. We can represent the domain with the help of the tree. I'll let you know how these are represented with the help of the tree in the later section, right? In which leaves represent the domain that have no subdomain, right? Whatever the leaf of the tree are, that will contain the domain, and which are further not divided. That means it do not have any subdomain. A leaf domain may contain a single host, or it may represent a company and contain thousands of hosts, right? So whatever the leaf node is for the DNS, it can contain single host, or it may represent multiple hosts representing thousand number of hosts. Each domain is named by the path upward from it to the root, right? How we name these domains? It follows the bottom up process, right? From the root to the top. The components are separated by the period. All the components of the name are separated by the help of the dot, right? Let's understand. For example, we have over here Sun Microsystem Engineering Department, right? How we'll change this into the DNS name? I told you, as we follow the bottom up process over here, so that we will go from the backward direction to the top, right? So engineering.sun.com will be its DNS name. The top domains come into the two flavors. Generally, we divide the domains into the two parts. First is the generic, in which it contains the various domains like com, which is commercial, education, mil for the military, and int for the international, then net for the net providers, o for the organization. And the second is the country, right? So in this include one entry for every country. Domain name can be either absolute and with a period, right? This is some.com, or relative. Domain names are case sensitive, and the component names can be up to 63 character. So whatever the domain name is, which is case sensitive, like it will differentiate. Like if we have two names in which we write S as a capital, then U is small and M, right? Then it will be different from the sum which is written over here in the small letter, right? So it is case sensitive, and it can contain maximum 63 characters, and full path name must not exceed 255 characters, right? The full DNS name will not contain more than 255 characters. So these were the two categories of the domains. Here, as I told you, how we represent the DNS as a tree. So here we have the generic, here we have the country side domains, right? Here it is divided into in, com, edu, government, military, organization. Then these are further subdivided, right? These are the subdomains. Like as I told you that engineering.sun.com, as I told you, it follows the bottom up process, right? Bottom up method of naming. So here from where we can understand, like engineering was the subdomain of the sun, then it was the subdomain of the com. So we started from the engineering, then sun, and then com, right? So we'll whenever we'll provide a DNS name to anyone, so it will follow the bottom up process. Now let's understand what is resource record. Every domain can have a set of resource record associated with, right? So every domain will have resource record associated with them. For a single host, the most common resource record is just its IP address. For a single host, the only IP address is sufficient, right? When a resolver gives a domain name to DNS, it gets both the resource record associated with the name, that is the real function of the DNS is to map the domain name into the resource record, right? The resource record is at 5 tuples and its format is as follows. The entries of the resource record is consist of the 5 tuple which are as follows. It is consist of the domain, then the name, time to live, type, its class, and the value. Right? Let's understand. Domain name tells the domain to which this record belongs. Right? Then time to live gives an identification how stable the record is. Then type tells what kind of this record is. In the class, it is IN for the internet information and codes for the non-internet information. Right? Value, the field can be a number, a domain name, or an ASCII string. Now let's understand name server. What are the name server? It contains the entire database. Name servers are generally the entire database where all the entries are stored and respond to all the queries about it. DNS name space is divided into non-overlapping zones. DNS namespace is divided up into non-overlapping zones in which each zone contains some part of the tree and also contains some server holding the authoritative information about that zone. Right, so it will be divided into non-overlapping zones, and what it will contain? It will contain some part of the tree, and also it will hold the also it will contain the name server holding the authoritative information. Let's understand how name server works, how DNS works, right? So a resolver want to resolve flits.cs.vle.ni wants to know the IP address of the host, linda.cs.vl.edu. So let's understand from this diagram. You can understand the steps which are carrying out over. The resolver send a query containing domain name, sort the type and class to the local name server, right? First it will send it to the local name server, which is cs.vu.ni, right? Then in the next step, suppose the local name server knows nothing about it, it asks few other nearby name server. Suppose it do not have any information about that it do not have any information about that name. So what it will try to connect its local servers, right? It will ask the few other nearby server. If none of them know, it sends a packet back to the server for the edu.server.net, right? If none other servers respond, then it will send it to the edu.server.net. The server knows nothing about the lynda.cs.yale.edu or the cs.al.edu, so it forward the request to the name server, right? So it will forward the server to the name server for yale.edu, right? So it will forward here, over here it will forward the request. Then this one forward the request to the cs.al.edu, in which must have an authoritative resource record, right? For in the step 4, it sended the request to the cs.al.edu, right, which is having the authoritative record. In this step 5 to 8, what is happening 5 to 8, right, over in the backward direction complete we are talking over here. The resource record requested work it way back in step 5 to 8. This query method is known as recursive method, recursive query, right? Now when we'll fetch all the information, the query will be returned to the client. When a query cannot be satisfied locally, so what will happen? The query fails, but the name of the next server along with the line try is returned, right? If the query is not fulfilled, it is not able to resolve, then it will return with the next server name and also with the line try in that query, right? So these were the steps of how the DNS is resolved, how the IP address is fetched for the particular DNS name. Now let's understand what is multimedia. Our next topic is multimedia. Multimedia is the field of the computer science that integrates the different form of information and represent in the form of the audio, video, animation along with the traditional media, that is text, graphic, drawing, etc. Right? So we are very quite aware of the multimedia. It is the combination of the audio, videos, animations, text, drawings, etc. Right? What are the component of the multimedia? Let's understand. First is the text. What is the text? It contains the alphanumeric and some other special characters, right? Then the graphics. It is the technology to generate, represent, process, manipulate, and display pictures, right? It is the method by which we can generate some pictures, manipulate them, display them. It is one of the most important component of the multimedia application. Third is animation. Animation is computer animation is a modern technique, as we all know. This helps in creating, developing sequence and displaying a set of images, right? So what animation is like, it provides the continuous displaying of the images, which are also called the frames. Animation gives visual effect or motion very similar to that of the video, right? These are the short video, we can call them. These looks like as if video is running on the screen. Here images are processed very fast for very short time, right? Next is audio. This technology records, synthesize and play audio. But in audio we generally it considered for the sound, right? Next is video. This technology records, synthesizes and displays images in sequences that make the creation appear as moving. So what happens in the video? Here we play images so fast that it appears like they are moving. So these were the main parts of the multimedia, and its application could be like, it is used as in the various field. It could be used in the business, right? It could also be used in the marketing and advertising companies. It could be also used in the education, banks, hospital, etc. Right? Here we also have, for different formats we have different file extension. You must have heard about the JPG, right? JPEG, and for the MP3 files, etc. These are the file extension for the various formats. So this was about the multimedia. So we'll finish it over here only. In the next class we'll continue with the next topic. Thank you.